Good morning, all of you. Our last session that is regarding the boron hydrogen cages. So you have seen this borane compounds, isn't it? Borane compounds, you have seen some of the reactions and also the physical properties as well as the chemical properties along with some important reactions that is hydroboration reaction, etc. Okay. So borane, it is the simplest borane, that is BH3. Simplest borane is BH3. Simple borane. And also see, if it is a dimer, it becomes if it this BH3 molecule, if it undergoes dimerization, then it becomes B2H6. That gives our diborane, isn't it? Diborane. And also see here, in the case of this BH3 molecule, it is electron deficient. BH3 is electron deficient molecule. And also it has got an incomplete octet, and also it is not stable. It is electron deficient and hence it is not stable, and also it has got an incomplete octet. Incomplete octet. So then we can we already seen the classification of boranes, isn't it? That is closo, nido and arachnoboranes. Closoboranes means the formula will be BnHn+2. That is the classification of borane that we had seen in our previous class, I think. Then closoborane, that is BnH n+2, BnHn+2. Then nidoborane is BnH n+4, that is 2 hydrogens will be in addition in the case of nido. Okay, closo it has got n+2, nido it has got n+4. Okay, then arachnoborane, the third category. Arachnoborane, it has got the general formula BnHn+6. Okay, so there will be a difference in both the in the three cases, isn't it? The first one, in the case of closoborane, it is BnHn+2, nido it is Hn+4, and arachno it is Hn+6. So you have to study this in this order itself. Okay, closo, nido and arachno. Then the next one that is very important, that is the structure of diborane. Structure of diborane. See here, regarding the structure, see, normally this structure, it was derived from by the electron diffraction studies, and also the structure, it will be like this. Diborane is B2H6. So the structure, it will be like this: 2 boron atoms, then it is joined together by 2 hydrogen atoms. That means these 2 are the bridging hydrogen atoms. Okay, then remaining 4 hydrogen atoms are there, and these 4 hydrogen atoms lie in different plane with respect to the other 2 hydrogen atoms. Okay, so this is the structure of diborane. See, these 2 hydrogen atoms, that is these 2 boron atoms and 2 hydrogen atoms, are lying in the same plane. And again these 4 hydrogen atoms, that is H1, then H2, then H3, then H4. These 4 hydrogen atoms are lying in a plane perpendicular to this BH bonds. Okay, that is perpendicular to this BHB bonds. Okay, so these 4 hydrogen atoms lie in a different plane, and these 4 atoms, that is 2 hydrogens and 2 borons, lie in another plane. These 4 hydrogen atoms are perpendicular to this particular plane. Okay, here also these 2 hydrogen atoms are bridging. These 2 hydrogen atoms are bridging hydrogen atoms. That means it forms a bridge-like structure in the case of this molecule B2H6. Okay, so let us see the 3-dimensional structure. I had searched in Google, etc. in Google, and got this structure. See, this is the structure of B2H6. See, these two blue are the boron atoms. Okay, the 2 boron atoms, and these 2 are the hydrogen atoms which is bridged, okay, across the 2 boron atoms. And here this hydrogen, see, 1, 2, 3 and 4. The 4 hydrogen atoms are lying perpendicular to this BHB bonds. Okay, that means these 4 hydrogen atoms are lying perpendicular to the plane of this molecule. Okay, that means these 4 hydrogen atoms are in different planes with respect to that of the other 2 boron and 2 hydrogen atoms. Is it clear, the structure? So this is the structure of boron, B2H6 diborane. So this is the BHB bond. So here we can see the BHB bond. This is BHB and this is another BHB. So how many BHB bonds are there? 2 BHB bonds are there, isn't it? The first one, this is the first BHB. This is the second BHB, and then again this is another boron hydrogen bond, isn't it? BH bond. Then here again one more BH bond, one more BH bond, then another one more BH bond. Okay, so this is the structure of this diborane. Hope you are clear with the structure. So this is a three-dimensional structure, and this is the 2 BH bonds, and this is the 4 BH bonds. Okay, this is a BHB bond, 2 BHB bond and 4 BH bonds. Okay, so this structure you have to keep it in your mind. The structure of diborane, it is very important for your, as far as your examinations are concerned. Hope you are clear with the structure. See here, this is the structure of in a two-dimensional way. Okay, so here how many boron atoms are there? 2 boron atoms with how many BHB bonds? 2 BHB bonds and 4 BH bonds. Okay, so in total we can say that 2 BHB bonds, that is these bond, isn't it? This is the first BHB, second BHB. 2 BHB bonds, I'll be writing it like this, 2 BHB bonds and 4 BH bonds. 4 BH bonds. So these 4 BH bonds are perpendicular to this BHB bonds. Okay. So then normally this BH bonds, see, due to the presence of the BHB bonds, this molecule cannot be rotated. Okay, that means this BHB bond is in a bridged shape, isn't it? It is in the form of a bridge, and also due to this BHB bonds, we cannot rotate that particular molecule. Okay, so this prevents, this BHB bonds prevents the rotation of that particular molecule. That is one point to be studied. Then also while methylated, this we will be having, that is methylation means by the addition of CH3 group. Okay, while methylation we will be having CH3 4 times B2H2. Okay, that means B2H2 will be remaining. So 4 hydrogen atoms from diborane, that is methylated. That means these 4 hydrogen atoms can be methylated. The other 2 hydrogen atoms cannot be methylated. Okay, so that shows that this 4 hydrogen atoms are at the terminal positions or at the end positions of the diborane molecule. Okay, so this is the this study, it is based on the Raman spectra. It is from the result, it is obtained from the Raman spectra. So from Raman spectra, we can say that this diborane, when methylated, we will be having CH3 4 times. It is tetramethylation is going on there. That means 4 replaceable hydrogen atoms are there. And also the terminal BH bonds, that is this BH bonds, they are normal covalent bonds. Okay, and also these 4 terminal BH bonds, we can call it as a 2 center 2 electron bonds. Okay, the terminal BH bonds can be called as a 2 center 2 electron bonds. And also the electron deficiency, it is associated with these bridge bonds. Okay, the electron deficiency, it is in the bridged positions. Electron deficiency is in BHB position, that is in the bridged positions. And also see the bridges, C2 bridges are there, that is, this is the first BHB and this is the second BHB. So these 2 bridges, it will be having only 4 electrons. That is 1 from each boron atom and 1 from each hydrogen atom. Okay, so this bridged bonds, it is having only 4 electrons. In BHB position, it has got in total 4 electrons. And also see, while considering the hybridization of this molecule, this boron atom, it is having an sp3 hybrid orbital. Boron, it is having an sp3 hybrid orbital. That means boron, see the the electronic configuration of boron, it will be like this: 1s, 2s, then 2p, This is 1s, 2s, then 2p. Then 1s, it will be having 2 electrons, and from 2s, it will be having 1 electron. Then 2px and 2py both are having 1 electron each. So see how many half-filled orbitals are there? 3 half-filled orbitals are there. So this will be hybridizing together to form sp3 hybrid orbital and the one unhybridized orbital. Okay, so in total 1, 2, 3, 4, isn't it? So total 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals are there, and one of them will be electron deficient. So this is the electron deficient hybrid unhybridized orbital. Okay. So so an sp3 hybrid orbital will be there. So this sp3 hybrid orbital of the boron atom, it will be overlapping with the 1s orbital of hydrogen atom, isn't it? We need pH bonds, isn't it? So it will be overlapping with the 1s orbital of the hydrogen atom, and this hydrogen atom, it will be having 1 electron pair. And also, so what happens is that this will be covering the 3 nuclei, that is BHB. This 1 electron from the boron and 1 electron from the hydrogen. It will be these 2 boron atoms. It will be this will be sharing electrons from this hydrogen atom. Okay, so this is the hydrogen atom, and this is the boron atom, and this is the hybrid orbital. This is the next boron atom, and this will be sharing the electron from the hydrogen atom. Okay, so this will be the geometry of that particular molecule, or the shape of that particular bridged bond. That means a delocalization will be taking place in the case of BHB bonds. Okay, so here we have got 3 centers, isn't it? 1 boron atom, 1 hydrogen atom, and 1 boron atom, isn't it? That means 3 nucleus are involved there, but at the same time 3 nucleus are there, and at the same time how many electrons are involved? Only 2 electrons are involved here. Okay, so we can say that it is a 3 center 2 electron bond. Okay, so normally we can call it as a BHB bond, or the bridged bond as a 3 center 2 electron bond, or otherwise we can call it as a banana bond. See, this is just the shape of a banana. So this is just the shape of a banana, BHB. Okay, so we otherwise it is called as a banana bond, BHB bond or a banana bond. Okay, so this is regarding the structure of this diborane. Okay, so you have to study this structure, and also the boron atom, it is having sp3 hybridization, and this boron will be sharing the sp3 hybrid orbitals of the boron will be overlapping with the 1s orbital of the hydrogen, so that a 3 center 2 electron bond is formed. As a result, a BHB bond is formed. A delocalization in the electrons will be taking place here, and here the electrons are shared between the 3 nuclei, that is 2 boron atoms and 1 hydrogen atom, and also 2 electrons are shared between them, and hence it will be having the shape of a banana, and it is called as a 3 center 2 electron bond. Okay, it is very important. You have to study the structure of diborane. Then the next is bonding in higher boranes. Bonding in higher boranes. Bonding in higher boranes. See, so normally these boranes, it will be having a 2 center 2 electron bonds. That is, it can be this 2 center 2 electron bonds. It can be BB bonds or BH bonds. Okay, so BB bonds and BH bonds will be contributing to the 2 center 2 electron bonds. Then again there will be 3 center 2 electron bonds that we had seen now, isn't it? That is 3 center 2 electron bonds. That means it can be BHB bonds, or it can be BBB bonds. Okay, so 3 center 2 electron means it will be coming under this category, that is BHB or BBB can form 3 center 2 electron bonds, and BB and BH can form 2 center 2 electron bonds. Okay, so that is regarding the bonding in higher boranes. Now you have to go through some of the boranes, and you have to calculate the number of you have to calculate the valence electrons present in that particular boranes. Okay, so first of all we can go through one example, B4H10. B4H10. See here the number of valence electrons. First of all you have to calculate the number of valence electrons. Number of valence electrons, that is equal to, see, from a boron atom how many electrons are there? Boron 1s2, 2s2, 2p, 2, isn't it? Sorry, 2s1 2p2, isn't it? 2s1 2p2. So the valence shell will be having how many electrons? 3 electrons, isn't it? So the number of valence electrons for boron, one boron, it will be having 3 electrons. So 3 into how many boron atoms are there? 4 boron atoms plus number of hydrogens, it will be equal to 10. That means 10 electrons will be donating by each hydrogen atoms. Okay, 3 electrons in the valence shell of boron. So number of boron atoms is 4. So 3 into 4 is equal to 12 plus number of hydrogens. Each hydrogen will be sharing 1 electron each. So 3 into 4 plus 10, that is equal to 12 plus 10, that is equal to 22 electrons. Okay. Then you have to see what all types of bonds are present in this particular borane. Okay. So first of all, you have to count the number of 3 center 2 electron bonds. Okay. 3 center 2 electron bonds. 3 center 2 electron bonds means it can be either of these two categories. It can be a BHB or BBB. Here it is having a BHB bond. BHB bond, and the number of BHB bonds, it will be equal to 4. So this particular molecule has got 4 BHB bonds. Okay, so 4 BHB after remaining, so it will be having 4 BHB bonds. So 4 BHB bonds means it will be contributing how many electrons? 1 BHB will be contributing 2 electrons. So 4 into 2, that is equal to 8, isn't it? So 4 into 2, 8 electrons. Then the next is how many 2 center 2 electron bonds are there? 2 center 2 electron bonds means here it has got BB and only one BB bond is there. One BB bond, and one BB bond means it will be sharing 2 electrons. So 1 into 2, that is equal to 2 electrons. Then again the next 2 center 2 electron bond, that is BH bond, it is having 6 BH bonds. Okay, 6 BH bonds. So 6 into 2, that is equal to 12 electrons. So in total, how much? In total, 8 plus 2, 10. 10 plus 12, it is equal to 22 electrons. That is what we calculated here, isn't it? So this is how you have to calculate the number of electrons. So simply we can calculate in this method 3 to 4 plus 10. Okay. Then the next boron, that is B5H9. B5H9. B5H9 means, see, the number of valence electrons will be equal to, number of valence electrons is equal to, see, 5 into 3 valence electrons plus 9 into 1. That is 15 plus 9, that is equal to 24 electrons. 24 electrons. So here, how this 24 electrons are coming? That is 3 center 2 electron bonds, it will be having 4. Okay. 4 3 center 2 electron bonds, that is 4 BHB bonds. So that means it will be having 4 into 2, that is equal to 8 electrons. Then 1 3 center 2 electron bond, that is BBB bond. BBB bond, that is equal to 1 into 2, that is equal to 2 electrons. Then 2 center 2 electron bonds. 2 center 2 electron bonds, that is BB bond, that is equal to again 2 into 2, that is equal to 4 electrons. Then the remaining, you have to write the number of BH bonds at the last part only. Okay, then it will be having 5 2 center 2 electron bonds, that is BH bonds. So again 5 into 2, that is equal to 10 electrons. So in total, how much electrons are there? 8 plus 2, 10, 10 plus 4, 14, 14 plus 10, 24 electrons. So in both cases, the number is correct. Okay. Then another compound, that is B5H11. B5H11. B5H11, the number of valence electrons will be, number of valence electrons is equal to 5 into 3 plus 11 into 1, that is equal to 15 plus 11, that is equal to 26, isn't it? 26 electrons. Then here also you have to represent this BBB bond like this. It is symbolically written as like this. Okay, BBB bond. Then here three center 2 electron bonds are there. Three center 2 electron bonds are there. That is the BHB bonds. That is equal to 6 into 2. That is equal to 12 electrons. Okay. Sorry. 3 into 2. 3 into 2, that is equal to 6 electrons. Then the next is 3 center 2 electron bonds. 3 center 2 electron bonds. That is the BBB bond. That is equal to 2 into 2. That is equal to 4 electrons. Then the next is 8 2 center 2 electron bonds are there. That is the BH bonds. That is equal to 8 into 2. 8 into 2, that is equal to 16 electrons. So 16 plus 10, 26 electrons. In total, 26 electrons. Okay. Then the next one, that is B6H10. B6H10. See how many electrons, number of valence electrons is equal to, number of valence electrons is equal to 6 into 3 plus 10 into 1. That is equal to 18 plus 10. That is 28 electrons. Okay. So here also 3 center 2 electron bonds. That is a BHB. That is equal to 4 into 2, 8. Then 3 center 2 electron bonds. That is BBB bonds. That is equal to 2 into 2. That is equal to 4 electrons. Then the next, that is 2 center 2 electron bonds. That is BB bonds. That is 2 into 2 again. That is equal to 4. Then 6 2 center 2 electron bonds. That is BH bonds. Okay. So 6 into 2. 6 into 2, that is equal to 12. Okay. So in total, 12 plus 4, 16. 16 plus 4, 20. 20 plus 8, 28 electrons. So this is how you have to calculate the number of valence electrons. And by knowing the number of BHB, BBB and BB and BH, we can cross check the number of valence electrons present in that particular borane. Okay. So next is the topic, that is the carboranes or carboboranes. Hope you had written this much. Otherwise, you can put a pause to the video and then you can write and then proceed. Okay, otherwise the video will be lagging. Then the next is carboranes. Carboranes or carboboranes. Carboboranes. Carboranes or carboboranes. See, here this carboranes means it is just a mixture of carbon and boron compounds. Okay, that means it will be having carbon, boron and hydrogen. That we can call it as carboranes. So that means they are derived from boranes. Carboranes are derived from boranes. Derived from boranes, and also they will be having elements carbon, boron, hydrogen. Okay, derived from boranes, and also they are the mixed hydrides of carbon and boron. Mixed hydrides of carbon and boron. Okay, and also see this boranes, carboranes, they are derived by suppose this compound B6H10. From this compound, one BH2 unit is replaced by one CH unit. Okay, for converting boranes to carboranes, we have to replace one BH2 unit by a CH unit. Okay, so if one BH2 unit is replaced, one CH unit. If two BH2 units means two CH units are replaced. Okay, so from this compound, see B6H10. From this borane B6H10, sorry, it is B6H10. So from this borane, if we are replacing 2 BH2 2BH2 is replaced, and then instead of that we have to substitute it by 2 CH units, isn't it? Minus 2 BH2, that means plus 2 CH. Okay, so 2 BH2 units means here it will be having B2 B2H4 will be replaced, isn't it? Instead of B2H4 we have to replace by C2H2. So here we will be having the remaining will be, so from this B6H10 you have to minus how much? B2H4, isn't it? That is 2 BH2 units. Okay, so while subtracting this we will be having, it will be B4, then the remaining will be H6, isn't it? B4H6, and to this B4H6 we are adding how many CH units? 2 CH units, that is plus C2H2. Okay, so we will be having C2 B4 then H8, isn't it? C2 B4 H8. So this is how we are replacing this BH2 units by CH units. So while replacing this we will be having C2 B4 H8. Okay, so this is the process of obtaining this carboranes, or simply we have to replace BH2 unit by this CH unit. Okay, so here this in case of carboranes, this carbon and boron atoms will be occupying the vertices of a triangulated polyhedron. It will be occupying the vertices of a triangulated polyhedron. Here also, in the case of carboranes also, 3 classifications are there, that is closocarborane, then nidocarborane and arachinocarborane. Okay, 3 types are there, 3 types of carboranes are there, that is closo, nido and arachino, just like the borons. Okay, sorry, boranes. Then the next one, the closocarboranes. Closocarboranes. So closocarboranes means it will be having a completely closed polyhedral structure. Completely closed polyhedral structure. Completely closed polyhedral structure. And also here also all the vertices of the triangulated polyhedron will be occupied by this boron as well as the carbon atoms, just like the general case. Okay, so this closocarboranes means it will be having a completely closed polyhedral structure with a triangulated polyhedron, and also the boron and the carbon atoms will be occupying in the vertices. The general formula of this closocarboranes, it will be Bn-2 C2H N. Okay, general formula is Bn-2 C2Hn, and also the N varies from 5 to 12. Number of boron atoms or number of hydrogen atoms, it will be varying from 5 to 12. And again this closocarboranes, it will be occurring in 3 isomeric forms, that is the ortho form, the meta form as well as the para form. Okay, this closocarboranes, it will be existing in these 3 isomeric forms also. The 3 isomeric forms of closocarboranes are ortho, meta and para. Okay, so this is the general characteristics of this closocarborane, completely closed polyhedral structure. General formula Bn-2 C2Hn. Okay, where N is the number of boron atoms. Okay, if N is equal to 4, then it becomes B2C2H4, isn't it? But here the N varies from 5 to 12 only. So the starting number of N will be equal to 5 and the maximum number of N will be equal to 12. Okay. Then the next one is the preparation of this closoboranes, the preparation of this type of boranes. Then starting from this nidoboranes, that is B10H14. This is nidoborane, BnHn plus 4, isn't it? This is a nidoborane, and this nidoborane, on treating with ethyl sulfide, C2H5 twice S, diethyl sulfide. Okay, so what happens is that these 2 hydrogen atoms are replaced by this ethyl sulfide. Instead of this 2 hydrogens are replaced by this C2H5 twice S. Okay, so we will be having B10H12 and for 2 hydrogens this compound will be, this part will be coming, that is C2H5 twice S, okay, twice S, that is 2 times, okay, plus H2, 2 hydrogens will be replaced. Then again in the next step, so here in the first step, nidoborane on treating with diethyl sulfide, 2 hydrogens of this nidoborane will be replaced by this particular compound, liberating a hydrogen molecule. Then in the next step, we have to obtain clozoborane, isn't it? Then in the next step, this B10H12 C2H5 twice S, then again 2 plus acetylene C2H2 plus acetylene, we will be having 1, 2, then B10 C2H12. So this is a clozocarborane, B10 C2H12. This is the orthocarborane. This is the ortho isomeric form of carborane. Then again this B10 C2H12, the clozo form of this compound, again B10 C2H12, the clozo form, on heating at 470 degrees Celsius, we will be having the meta form 1,7, that is we are obtaining the meta forms, different isomeric forms of this clozoborane, B10 C2H12. So this is the ortho form of the clozocarborane, and then in the next step, this the ortho form of this clozocarborane, it is heated to 470 degrees Celsius. Then we will be having this meta. 1,7 position means it is the meta position. We will be having, this is the clozocarborane, the isomeric form, the meta form will be obtained. Then again this meta form on heating to 700 degrees Celsius, we will be having the para form, that is 112 B10 C2H12. So this is the para form. Okay. So we will be having the 3 isomeric forms of this clozocarborane, ortho, meta and para. Ortho is 1,2, meta is 1,7 and para is 1,12. Okay. So the starting compound is nidoborane, isn't it? B10H14. So this is regarding the preparation of this type of boranes, clozocarboranes. Hope you understood this also. Then the next one, that is the Wade's rules. Wade's rules. See, this Wade's rules, it is Wade's rule. It is very important. It is used for finding out the number of electrons present in a multi-centered bonding orbital. The Wade's rule, it is used to calculate the number of electrons in a multi-centered. Multi-centered means we had seen the 3-centered 2 electron bonds, isn't it? As well as the 2-centered 2 electron bonds. So in such type of compounds, this Wade's rules are applied. So this Wade's rules, it is used for finding out the number of electrons in the multi-centered bonding orbitals. And this normally this Wade's rule, it is used in calculating the number of valence electrons in boranes as well as carboranes. Okay, it is applied in boranes as well as carboranes for calculating the number of electrons in the multi-centered bonding orbitals. And you have to go through some 4 points are there, and you have to go through that 4 points also. And the first point is that each BH unit, it will be contributing 2 electrons to the skeletal bonding in the borane or carborane. Okay, so each BH unit will be contributing 2 electrons to the skeletal bonding in the borane or carborane. So this Wade's rule we can apply in common to both the cases, that is in the case of boranes as well as carborane. So that is the first point. BH unit, if a single BH unit, if one BH unit, we can consider it as 2 electron. Okay. Then the second point is that the negative charge can also be counted in the case of skeletal bonding. So negative charge will be counted as 1 electron. Okay. So negative charge in a borane or a carborane is also used up in the case of a skeletal bonding. That is the second point. Then the third point is that if additional hydrogens are there, additional hydrogens are also there. That is, for each hydrogen, this hydrogen atoms will be donating 1 electron each to the skeletal bonding. Okay, for each additional hydrogen atoms, these hydrogen atoms will be donating 1 electron to the skeletal bonding. That is the third point. Then the fourth point is that each CH unit will be contributing 3 electrons to the skeletal bonding. Okay, CH units will be contributing 3 electrons to the skeletal unit. So once again I will tell you, each BH unit will be contributing 2 electrons. Negative charge will also be contributing 1 electron to the skeletal bonding. Skeletal framework. Then additional hydrogen atoms will be sharing 1 electron to the skeletal framework. CH units will be sharing, one CH unit it will be sharing 3 electrons to the skeletal bonding. Okay. So this is the Wade's rule. Now you have to calculate the number of valence electrons with the help of this Wade's rule. Okay. So while doing the examples, you will be clear of this Wade's rule. Okay. So you have to study these 4 points by heart, and it is very important, Wade's rule. It will be asked in university examinations, or sometimes it will be asked you are asked to calculate the number of valence electrons on the basis of the Wade's rule. In either way, it can be asked sometimes at the application level, or sometimes in your at your knowledge level. Okay. So first one, this classification of boranes and carboranes. Classification of boranes and carboranes. First one, closoboranes and closocarboranes. Closoboranes or closocarboranes. 2 categories are coming. Closocarboranes. Okay. So here the number of in closocarboranes or closoboranes, we can say that the total number of boron and carbon atoms, if it is n, if the total number of boron and carbon atoms is equal to n, the number of electrons or the number of electron pairs in the skeletal structure. We have to consider the electron pairs. Okay, the number of electron pairs in the skeletal structure, it will be equal to n plus 1. Okay, if the total number of boron and carbon atoms is equal to n, then the number of electron pairs will be equal to n plus 1. Okay, so first of all we can go through one example, that is CH twice B10 H10. CH twice B10 H10. So here what about n? N is the total number of boron atoms and carbon atoms. So number of boron is 10 and number of carbon atoms is 2, isn't it? See, 2. So it will be equal to 12. So here the number of electron pairs will be equal to how much? Number of electron pairs will be equal to n plus 1, that is 12 plus 1, that is 13 electron pairs. Now you have to find out whether it is right or wrong. Okay, so now you have to apply this Wade's rule also. So according to Wade's rule, the first point is that, the last point, isn't it? The last point is that the CH units, see here it has got CH units. How many CH units? 2 CH units are there. So one CH unit will be contributing how much electrons? 3 electrons, isn't it? One CH unit will be contributing 3 electrons. So here it has got 2 CH units. So 2 CH units means it will be contributing 6 electrons. Okay, 6 electrons, that is 3 into 2, 6 electrons. Then again, how many BH units are there? See, it is same, B10, H10. So we can say that it has got 10 BH units. Then again, 10 BH units. 10 BH units are there. For one BH unit, according to Wade's rule, one BH unit will be contributing how many electrons? 2 electrons, isn't it? So here it has got 10 BH units. So 10 BH units means here it will be having 10 into 2, that is 20 electrons. So in total we can say that, so that much only in this case, isn't it? 2 CH units and 10 BH units. So in total we can say that 2 CH units contribute 6 electrons and 10 BH units will be contributing 20 electrons. So in total there will be 26 electrons. 26 electrons means how many electron pairs? It will be having 13 electron pairs. The half of the number of electrons gives the number of electron pairs. Okay, so in total it will be having 13 electron pairs. I hope you understood this portion. That is CH unit, 2 CH units. Each CH unit will be contributing 3 electrons. 2 CH units means 6 electrons. Then B10, H10, that means 10 BH units are there. No remaining hydrogen atoms or no additional hydrogen atoms are there. So in total 10 BH units, that means 1 BH unit will be donating 2 electrons. So 10 into 2, 20 electrons. So in total 26 electrons, that means 13 electron pairs. That is what we obtained in the first step itself, isn't it? So this is how you have to calculate the number of electrons or the number of valence donated to the number of electron pairs in the skeletal structure. Okay, then we can go through another example, that is B6 H6 2 minus. Okay, this is a diborane. Okay, B6H6 2 minus. Here, see here, what is the number of what is N? N is equal to only 6 boron atoms are there, so N is equal to 6. Then again the number of electrons to the skeletal framework, it will be equal to 6 plus 1, that is equal to 7 electron pairs. Here it is not electrons, it is the electron pairs. Okay, 7 electron pairs. Then here, then you have to write the contributions. So here how many BH units are there? 6 BH units are there, isn't it? 6 BH units. So 1 BH unit will be contributing 2 electrons. So 6 BH unit means 6 into 2, 12 electrons. Then again how many negative charges are there? 2 negative charges are there. 2 negative charges means 2 electrons, isn't it? So 12 plus 2, 14 electrons in total. 14 electrons means 7 electron pairs. This is very important, Wade's rule. You have to calculate it. You have to study this Wade's rule also. Then the next case, that is the nidoboranes and nidocarboranes. Nidoboranes and nidocarboranes. Nidoboranes and nidocarboranes. How to calculate the number of electrons in the skeletal framework. So this nidoboranes and nidocarboranes, it will be having a net-like structure. It will be having a net-like structure, and also the number of electrons, electron pairs in the skeletal framework, it will be equal to n plus 2. The previous case in the Closed form, it will be n plus 1, but here it is n plus 2 electron pairs. Now you have to go through the examples for nidoboranes as well as nidocarboranes. Okay, so you have to remember this formula also. Then the next one, nidoborane, that is B5H9, that is BnHn plus 4, isn't it? B5H9. So B5H9 means it will be having how many electrons? So one side I am writing the nidoborane, and in the another side I am writing the nidocarborane, that is C2B4H8. This is a nidocarborane, C2B4H8. So first of all you have to calculate this nidoborane. Okay, so how many BH units are there? B5H5, isn't it? So 5 BH units are there. 5 BH units means it will be contributing 5 into 2, that is equal to 10 electrons. Then remaining how many hydrogens are there? B5H5. So remaining 4 hydrogen atoms are there. So 4 hydrogens. 4 hydrogens means each hydrogen will be donating 1 electron. So 4 into 1, 4 electrons. Okay. So in total 14 electrons. 14 electrons means 7 electron pairs. Okay, so according to the formula, what is the electron pairs? N plus 2, that is here N is equal to 5, isn't it? N is equal to 5, so N plus 2 means 5 plus 2, that is equal to 7 electron pairs. Here also we are obtaining the same, isn't it? 7 electron pairs, 7 electron pairs, isn't it? So in both cases the answer is right. That is why this is the number of electron pairs donated to the skeletal framework on the basis of Wade's rule. Okay. Then you have to go through the next part, that is the closocarboranes. So here how many CH units are there? C2H2. Okay. C2H2. So we can say that it has got 2 CH units. 2 CH units means each CH unit will be contributing 3 electrons. So 2 into 3 electrons, that is equal to 6 electrons, isn't it? Then how many, so remaining here it will be having H6, isn't it? Then how many BH units are there? BH units, B4H4, isn't it? So 4 BH units are there. That means it will be equal to 4 into 2. Each BH unit will be donating 2 electrons. So 4 into 2, 8 electrons. Then remaining how many electrons? So in total 4 plus 2, 6 electrons had gone. So the remaining 2 hydrogens are there, isn't it? So remaining 2 hydrogens, each hydrogen will be donating 1 electron. So 2 into 1, that is equal to 2 electrons. So in total 6 plus 8 plus 2, that is 16 electrons, isn't it? 16 electrons. 16 electrons means how many electron pairs? 8 electron pairs. 8 electron pairs. Now you have to apply the formula also. N plus 1. N plus 1 means, see here, N is equal to number of boron plus number of carbon atoms, isn't it? That is 4 plus 2, that is 6 plus 1, isn't it? Sorry, N plus 2. This is chlorocarborane, isn't it? Chlorocarborane. Sorry, this is nidocarborane. So it is N plus 2. The formula is N plus 2. So 4 plus 2, 6 plus 2. N is equal to number of borons plus number of carbon atoms. Number of boron 4 plus number of carbon 2. So 4 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 2, 8 electron pairs. Okay. So we had obtained the same, isn't it? Then the next is the case of arachnoboranes. The third category, that is arachnoboranes. Arachnoboranes, the general formula is N plus 3 electron pairs. N plus 3 electron pairs. So you have to use the formula N plus 3. First of all, you have to identify whether it is a closo or a nido or an arachno species. Okay. So first example, that is B5H11. So here N is equal to 5. So N plus 3, that is equal to 5 plus 3, that is 8 electron pairs. 8 electron pairs. Then again, how many BH units are there? 5 BH units are there. 5 BH units means 5 into 2, that is 10 electrons. Then remaining 6 hydrogens are there, isn't it? So remaining 6 hydrogens. 6 hydrogens means 6 into 1, that is equal to 6 electrons. So okay, so total 16 electrons, or we can say it as 8 electron pairs. Is it right? 8 electron pairs. Here also we had obtained it as 8 electron pairs. Okay. Then the next one, next arachnocarboranes. Arachnoboranes and arachnocarboranes. You have to write both as headings. Okay. Arachnocarboranes. Can you read this? Arachno. Okay. Arachnocarboranes. Here also, then write down the example C2B7H13. C2B7H13. So here N is equal to how much? N plus 3. The formula is N plus 3. Here N is equal to number of boron plus number of carbon, that is 7 plus 2, 9. N is equal to 9. So N plus 3, that is equal to 9 plus 3. That is equal to 12 electron pairs. 12 electron pairs. Now you have to calculate. So how many CH units are there? C2H2. Okay, so 2 CH units. 2 CH units means 2 into 3 electrons. That is equal to 6 electrons. Then how many BH units? B7H7. Okay, so 7 BH units. 7 BH units means 7 into 2. That is equal to 14 electrons. Then remaining, how many hydrogens are there? 2 plus 7, 9. 9 is gone. Then the remaining, that is 3 plus 1, 4 hydrogens are there, isn't it? 4 hydrogens. So 4 hydrogens means 4 into 1, that is equal to 4 electron. So in total 14 plus 10, that is equal to 24 electrons, isn't it? 24 electrons, or how many electron pairs? It will be equal to 12 electron pairs. 12 electron pairs. Okay, both of them are correct, isn't it? So this is how we have to apply Wade's rule. So I had taken it in a common topic, that is nidoboranes, and that is in a combined form I had taken, that is closo, nido, arachno, boranes as well as carboranes. If you are asked for calculating boranes, that means you have to apply the formula for closo, whether it is a closo, nido or an arachno species, whether it is, you have to identify whether it is a closo, nido or arachino. First of all, you have to identify Clouseau, nido and arachino. Then for both boranes and carboranes, the formulas are the same. Okay, boranes and carboranes, the formulas are the same. That is, for Clouseau it is n plus 1 electron pairs, for nido it is n plus 2, and for arachino it is n plus 3 electron pairs. Then you have to remember the weights rule also. For BH unit it will be donating 2 electron pairs. Then for CH units it will be donating 3 electrons. Okay, not electron pairs, it is electrons. 2 electrons. For CH it is 3 electron. For negative charge it will be donating 1 electron. And for hydrogen atom it will be donating 1 electron. You have to remember this in the short form, that is Wade's rule. Okay, so this much you have to study. Only this is the portions to be taken by me, and also I had finished your S3 portions as well, and also now it is your turn to study all these portions thoroughly. Very important topics are there, these are very important topics as well. Also from silicates etc. I think last time it is asked, some questions are asked from silicates also. I think regarding the classification also you have to go through the previous question papers as well. It will be available in our library site, and you have to go through the previous university question papers, and from that you have to study those questions as very important questions. Don't avoid other portions as well. Please do take your time for studying purposes only. That much only I have to tell you. So bye for now and take care.